speak to the resolution. Representative Cannon.
So today I rise on Muskogee land. This capitol is built on Muskogee land. And it happens to be the same land of the measure we're debating. That's Muskogee land too. Now when we're here, we get to decide what happens to this land. And I'm wondering why we're deciding what's happening on that land. Honestly, after much consideration of possible retaliation, I decided to come and to point out a few issues that I see with this measure, and I really thank you for listening to me. First of all, this is not what we're here to do. The executive order said draw 5 black districts, make better statewide maps for Georgia's growing populations. And there was a small bullet point about local matters that allowed for local legislation. If local delegations have anything to consider or anything to tend to, they can carry measures by their local delegations, because we respect home rule here. But on this measure, affecting the City of Atlanta delegation, the Fulton County delegation, and the DeKalb County delegation, none, not one. None of the chairs, none of the members have been consulted on this measure. In fact, the City of Atlanta has been quoted in saying, "We did not know nor request this resolution, and we think it is really to put a target on the local delegations." My second concern here is that 116,000 people signed a petition that's called Let the People Decide. 116,000 is more voters than have turned out for any elected official in the City of Atlanta ever. If we believe in a representative democracy, this shows us what it could look like. My third issue is there are legal cases right now with people from outside of the state who are being conflated with lawful residence cases inside of the state. I find it very inappropriate for us to make legal conclusions on active criminal cases. That's what some of these lines in here do. So what are some of these cases? One of them is an $11 donation to a bail fund. That's being called up on a RICO charge. That's being conflated to be domestic terrorism. This overreach, y'all, is really upsetting. It's really chilling. It needs to stop. I'll finish by just talking about my constituents. I'm so proud to serve. Y'all make me take hard stances, but I'm proud to do it. One canvasser talked to me about me being a supporter of the current mayor and living in Grant Park. He was eager to sign the petition. He said he just felt the city was really getting it wrong on this particular issue. And so he wanted to be able to vote on the matter. Another volunteer told of an older voter who was unapologetic about her support of law enforcement. But nonetheless, she thought she should sign the referendum because she felt the city constituents should be able to vote on the matter. She felt the process that the city was undergoing was undemocratic. And she wanted to clear that up. She wanted to vote affirmatively for this use of Muskogee land. Another one of my constituents on Edgewood spoke about an encounter that she had with a 78-year-old man. As she talked to him, the man's hand was shaking. So she asked him, was he okay? Was he nervous? He said no, and that he was worried that his signature was going to be disqualified because he had recently had a stroke, and that his signature looks different than it did on his original voter registration over 30 years ago. Using an exact match strategy, which has been used before at the state level, simply would never match. But it was him. What could he do? I'll just close by saying, as someone who's faced backlash, retaliation, threats of harm, I see y'all. I see my colleagues who today feel like if they vote no or walk on the vote today, that they're going to face that same retaliation. I ask you to fear not. I remind you this is our duty. We owe it to our constituents to stand for their right to expression and to make hard decisions on local issues that affect them. Thank you for listening today. I yield the will.
The lady has yielded the